that goes.
If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms,
Oh, it just
you
comes
should
straight
come
in.
see me.
Oh,
I'll let you
well.
get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate you.
Well, that is good to know. That means that
Doc Nelson was the image of a small town
the
guy.
chapter
Sheriff Breaker
recap
had
only
called into
plays
the
when you
station to
actually
take a
do the
look at the
chapter.
cut on
Right.
my head.
Fair enough.
If we're going to be taking breaks on for the
I'm sorry you
stream
had to
on
catch
chapter
your morning
breaks, I
fishing
might want
short for
to
this,
like
Doc.
restart the chapter
She's a
to
beauty,
include that.
ain't she?
Well,
Not the
obviously.
biggest I ever
I just didn't
known.
know how the thing worked
Believe
until
that
now.
coming
Right,
from
right.
an old
And hey there,
fisherman like
Phoenix.
me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a lot
Lorax having some fun with the fact his name is also Alan. We had some fun with the stream title, with the fact that we're playing a game called Alan Wake, and the game we were going to be playing was Awakened Fate.
Right.
Very, very, very similar. Or has some things to talk about for Rune Factory next time. Let's play some Rune Factory 2. And yeah, needless to say, fishing. Ugh. Freaking fishing games. At least they're easy.
Indeed.
Who's the wanted poster?
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
Oh, a missing poster, not wanted poster. We don't know, I guess. But pull out your gun and get a closer look. That'll go over great in the police station.
I actually do not have a gun right now.
Oh.
Remind you, just in case. Mr. Wade?
Oh, hey, that's what's-her-face who was scared of the dark.
Hmm.
It's good to know.
That was Cynthia Weaver. I guess you can call
I
her
guess you could
pound
call her that.
eccentric. She used
You don't
to
want to
be
know what they
the
call her behind her
editor of
back.
the local newspaper, but she's focused on other things these days.
She'd fit right in where I come from.
As you can see, she's a little obsessed with maintaining the light bulbs of the whole town. Refuses to step on shadows.
So she
Things
clearly
like
knows
that.
what's going on.
Back in her
At
Or at
least
least-
an
she
idea,
wrote
yeah.
about
Yeah.
all sorts of weird things in the paper. Bright Falls had a colorful history. Of course, what small town hasn't?
Or as Ben said,
Ooh, Thermos.
that was Cynthia Weaver, our resident log lady ripoff.
And people wanted to hear it going, so...
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot.
Oh, so Alice is a
The light was
sniper.
breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows
Technically,
behind the cabin,
look through the
like a
viewfinder
thin
would make her
woman in
the
a
spotter.
dress.
Mm.
She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head.
What a card. Oh, there's also the sudden stop hasn't been looked at yet.
Let's go for it.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid
Yeah,
chains
one
seemed
man's ripoff is another man's homage, Swift.
private snuff movie. A memory
that is a tough line to walk, especially when your source material is so similar to.
metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me.
Very noir. I
Right.
approve.
This was a late
Or as Ben said, it's an homage when you like it and a ripoff when you don't.
My revenge. It had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. Gruesome.
I'm sorry, the use of
slushy
slushy there.
Scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now. My wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
That is seriously the Max Payne writer. That is 100% the Max Payne writer.
Right.
Just shifting effortlessly between your serious noir stuff and then
Yeah,
just
it's,
silliness.
Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton.
Interesting.
No sign of him. Over. Yeah,
So I guess if you die in the Matrix, you die in the real world too.
it's here.
Well, if they're just possessed or something, then that's the actual body you're shooting.
Driving it
Right.
into rehearsals today. Over. Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone
Swift
really
wants to know who'd
crashed
win in a
the
fight,
garage.
Log Lady,
Over.
Lantern
Okay,
Lady, or the Pot
what's that
Lady
guy?
from Deadly
Keep
Premonition.
working with Stucky. Jane's out.
Which one's the youngest? I would go with that. Well, since Alan Wake is basically an anime.
The sheriff wants to see you in her office, Mr. Wake.
Oh, Bruce Dansky and Jacob Miller.
Oh, those are the people you killed in the intro, maybe?
I doubt it.
I don't think any of them gave their names.
Right.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Ben votes log lady. Her inanimate prop
Have you
is the
started looking
sturdiest.
for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this.
Need a minute?
Hello?
Alice, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here.
Page here.
After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the silk corridor.
Mister! Hey, can you
Jeez.
turn the light? The light's on! The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me.
Or it's like Potter Lantern. Burn the opponent.
Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're alright. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you...
Yeah, I get the feeling that leaving the lights off would just be kind of mean.
Swift thinks the missing posters are probably dev team members. Yeah, I can see that.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human.
This is completely different tone from
decidedly
the first page.
Nonetheless,
Pages.
the one spot in the
Well, yeah,
dark
it's
that
a
was
different
dark
part of the
enough.
manuscript.
Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain.
What they're saying is that
Horrible as it was,
the Dark World needs an
Light would
editor,
fix that.
smooth
It would be
over all
coming
of
to
the
one place
spirit.
where it still had power.
No, I'm just saying it's not in order.
Well, no, I get that. I just mean it's like, yeah, it feels like a completely different voice, you know. I mean, where's our gruesome slushy?
Even in noir, you only have the establishing shot sounding like that.
Ah, okay.
I mean, that's very much just a bit of narrative stuff.
Yeah, my only experience with noir has been a couple movies, you know, from that time period. None of the radio plays or books or anything. Or pulps or any of that.
Here? No.
Kidnapper Sheriff's Department. That's a junker, all right.
Yep.
Jeez.
Let's see. The break in defense would be here. Well, making it explode works.
Yeah, very impressive.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall in the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Spoilers, dude.
Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business. Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week. You and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Exit the sheriff.
Ven was asking you, Ben, if you ever saw Double Indemnity, arguably the first film noir. And if you're asking me, because I mentioned movies, no, I didn't see that one.
A writer is a light that reveals the
I will say that I have seen very few noir movies. No, I have not seen that one.
Okay.
Carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
It's a little too meta for me. A TV show of him writing a book of his inner monologue.
I will say that I had read a book recently by a friend of mine by the name of S.A. Hunt that has kind of a similar idea. This whole idea that an author actually makes a world while writing it, and that means that you have some pretty severe consequences for stopping or things like that.
Right.
It's kind of interesting.
Never caused
to
any
think
trouble
about.
to anyone when they were still
Also
living
makes me
at their
think
farm.
of the
Indeed.
the video games that are aware they're games.
Slow down the progress of
Like
their
in
dimension.
Undertale, it tries to make you feel guilty for stopping playing it. You know.
Right.
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing
Watch that pointer
your
finger.
situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place
Ooh.
where...
Sheesh, Alan.
Take it easy.
If wasn't going to be in jail, he would be there now.
Nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer
That
still
is a
stands.
chill dude. Just walk that off.
Get me out of here.
Turning the other cheek when punched is going a little far, I think.
What the hell was that about, Al?
Well, this is the first time even. So he knew what he was getting in for.
I thought they were gonna lock you up.
Nobody move! That's my client.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Sophia would know what the opposite of good is.
Barry, you found him.
I wrote.
Oh dear.
Wow, I was just thinking about you too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing.
That bear statue.
I really
Yeah.
hope so. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later.
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan.
Pretty neat. Bucktooth Charlie.
That is a great name. How would you even tell if the mammoth was buck-tusked?
Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car? Just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you did that? Are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice, and everything's just...
Do you understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong.
Why did he tell Barry about shooting people?
Well, he has to address somebody.
Fair enough.
Wait here.
Silly you trying to actually get first aid kits.
Well, it might have worked.
It could happen.
Well, I found my thermos. That's the important thing.
Pronounce it that way, it makes me think it's you're talking about Therm OS, new rival to Macintosh.
I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right?
Aw,
You're right,
doggy.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind
That's Paul
grabbing
saying,
the
are you saying you
registration
wouldn't
form
trust
from the desk?
Barry?
It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
That's true, Ven. He said he trusts Barry. He seems like the kind of guy that would try to cover it up if he learned you
They're
murdered
illegally
someone.
used here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't
The
stop
best friends are
some
the ones who, loyalty or not, have a
At least
vested
Max is
interest in
gonna
your
be okay.
success.
Indeed.
You got lucky.
Yep, as some of the Enlightenment philosophers point out, it is not because of benevolence that the baker provides the bread you want.
And yeah, Zane, sorry, no animes
Yep,
today.
no animes.
We had a
just go and meet a kidnapper?
Our the long story short, our PS3's HDMI port is kaput, so we can't capture with it. So we are
She's my
doing
wife,
360
and it's my
instead.
call. Can we talk about this later?
You never know. There might have been something down there.
Yeah. You never know where they're going to hide a thermos or a page in this game.
If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working.
Let's have a laugh on Barry.
Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it.
Yeesh.
Hand it over to the dog.
I think this is the
Let's put a paw print there.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr.
And
Wade.
notarized in the presence of a witness. Rough.
Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too.
I want to be able to hit the B button to pet dog.
Zane, I meant our PS3's HDMI port is no longer functional.
Watch your steps so you don't end up like
Oh,
Max.
great. There's going to be tracks
I'm a
right
little
there.
worried. We got a bunch of campers out there. We haven't heard
AV
from.
works,
It's not like
component
these people are on a
works,
schedule,
but not
with the tracks,
HDMI, and that's the only thing we
you
can
know,
capture with.
I just don't want any trouble.
Right, thanks.
Then says that some friends of one of his sisters once went to his mom, and it was a joke, turns out, claiming they'd stolen a car and asked for help resolving it. He was actually getting stuff together to wipe their fingerprints off and find somewhere safe to abandon it when they told her they were joking. And Zay concurs, poor dog seems to have had a rough time. Hey, it's that dog. Lorax, they can't all be that dog.
I just hope I don't have to have an escort mission with this guy.
This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help, and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Better do something about that cough.
Just be careful with the natives, Al.
Yeah, now as for all to know, what happened to that dog? Did he take over Salazar's castle? Got hurt fighting El Gigante. Ooh, that's fighting word, Zane. The dog likes the mine thrower.
Oh, great. I bet he's a hypochondriac, even.
Hmm. Well, that guy's probably better to leave him here than take him out in the woods. It's a book.
I can't tell what it is, though.
Don't look too close at the wine. It's probably the cheap stuff if it's here in a cabin.
Probably. But got another thermos. That's the important thing.
The dog tried playing fetch with the mine thrower. That's how I got hurt. You never used it, it would have been fine. Yeah, oh, I agree with Sprawl on that one. Dog should have been a character in Mercenaries, or an assist for Leon or something.
I can see that.
Kind of like, how everybody else has some special instant kill move, then Leon can sick the dog on them.
Okay. Another thermos.
You can't actually get the mine thrower at the same time as the dog unless you. Sorry, I guess you did New Game Plus, you could.
Yeah, if you did New Game Plus, you could.
Right.
Okay.
A shadow from Dead to Rights, right? Oh my gosh, Dead to Rights.
Well, guess there's nothing for it, but...
We're still talking about dogs. Swift wants to know.
Nature trail, nature trail. Where would that nature trail be? Ah, over here.
Mm-hmm. Made you look for it.
Well, only because I went off the beaten path.
I guess we can cool it about dogs. Swift lost a dog recently, so we can save it for next time. I guess. Oh, it's Ashley in the dumpster.
Aha!
He's in everything else we do nowadays.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
All you silly pet lovers.
Oh, I bet the back button can be used for that. I'll try that next time, if I remember.
Back button used for what?
It should let me quit out completely. Oh, use.
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. Wasn't a long
Makes sense. You want to get an all-terrain,
and it wouldn't be any
vehicle.
use to me in the forest. I knew I should have.
Which I mean, a vehicle is all-terrain, not an actual ATV four-wheeler.
But I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had.
Now that we're about to get to our next nighttime nightmare dark segment. How is the audio for everybody? Volume-wise, us compared to the game and everything.
I certainly hope they would have said anything about problems, beforehand, considering how much talking goes on.
Right. Yeah, I just noticed the waveforms are a little low in OBS. Well, that one just spiked. Okay, so we're probably going to be about right when it starts getting low.
Up here?
And break into another cabin. Ooh, we have... It could be slightly higher, okay. Yeah, if it's close, then we'll wait until it starts getting loud and then evaluate from there. Ooh. There we are. Oh, but not...
Got a cabin defense going on, perhaps.
I think that was just there to spook you. It is so. That is a really cool touch. I always like things like that. When it's like there's a glimpse an enemy for a second, and then...
I guess you might be right.
I remember talking to Ben about Eternal Darkness, back in the day. And it's like, more of the sanity effect should have been like that.
Right.
And they actually got more frequent and more severe as the rating went up. Instead of just, sometimes there's zombies and then sometimes there's not.
Right.
Swift says if you hadn't noticed it, each chapter will strip the excess ammo and guns and stuff you had.
Yeah, I did notice that.
I guess that makes sense. You can always make sure to have to balance the challenge, whereas opposed to somebody who may or may not have a shotgun.
I'll check this first and then the other one.
What if you can... Since it didn't light up or anything, you probably can't, but it would be kind of cool if you could shoot the propane tank.
Yeah, that would be kind of neat.
Ooh, it was already broken out.
That's not good. They're turning on lights here.
Yeah, check the Midnight Channel. Or not. That's a pretty cool touch. You can probably assume that the TV is working without power. Since everything's so ruined.
I admit I was kind of expecting a deer hunter.
As much as I would love an Alan Wake and Time Splitters crossover, probably not. Shoot the propane. Those brute boys ain't right. As he reaches out for the truth. I keep wanting to stream Persona 4, sometime, especially if you get PlayStation TV, we can play Golden. On the other hand, it's so long.
It is a pretty long game, yeah. Alright, manuscript page. Rusty died.
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. "Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page."
I'm guessing this is intentionally confusing, but now it seems kind of weird to have the book narrating somebody talking about something that happened in the book. I guess maybe a different book?
Well, no, that just means that other people can see manuscript pages too.
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming!
Please, help me!
Well, yeah, that can't be good. So you're retracing your steps now, right?
Yes, we're going down to the visitor center.
Okay. Now do what you gotta do, shadow people, but let the dog... save the dog.
Can you hear me? Anyone? Please, help!
Hello?
Back here. I'm back here. Hey, please.
Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
Yeah, you were right. Yeah. I said that would be a really darn trippy thing to have happen. Like you pick up a page that describes like something you're doing, and
to get the power running and the lights back on.
There might be something later. Now,
saying it's a bad habit, wanting to keep everything and not fuse. So he is a bad at Persona 4.
Yeah, if you try to do that in Persona, it will not end well for you. There.
Yeah, like a wise man once said, Zane, you gotta let it all go. Free your mind.
At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the
It's a realistic gameplay commentary.
I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe.
Yeah, like a Swift. When you die in the page, you die in real life. Yeah, I made a joke earlier about Stucky, and it's like because I thought that the darkness and everything was like a parallel dimension, but if it is just the real world and they're possessed by shadows, whatever, it makes sense you'd be killing the real guys.
Right. It also explain why they there's that odd fusion between. Aha.
It was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Yeah, that would also explain why there's such an odd disconnect between them like killing what they're saying.
Right.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Ah, okay.
Huh.
Contrary to what Darkest Dungeon might imply, you probably can't shoot slime. So
Indeed, probably not.
The visitor center was sturdy.
And this wasn't there earlier.
Turned the front
No.
of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way. He felt the broken rib stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone.
Leg bending the wrong way is not good.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months now, so but anybody new and hearing this one who wasn't aware of it before, Ben broke his leg last November.
And it did, in fact, bend the wrong way, and it did, in fact, hurt a lot.
Right.
So henceforth, I'm never going to be able to hear or see things like that without flinching just a little bit.
They give you newfound contempt to people that walk off broken legs in fiction, though.
Yeah.
I just need hunting licenses.
Screw you, man. Second Amendment says. We're getting pretty meta here. We're hunting rangers.
I don't know if destroying those puddles does anything, but
I assume that they're there to kind of catch you, maybe do damage or trip you up when if you're trying to move around in combat.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Is the mammoth still there?
Please don't feed the animals.
Oh, it is still there. Okay.
Fishing is only permitted for those fishers who purchase a park fishing license. Obey the park ranger's instructions at all times.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
So the darkness, so they're kind of like zombies, I guess. The darkness kills them and reanimates them. The manuscript page seems pretty clearly imply he's dead. Yeah. Owl hunting, ranger hunting. Oh, Art said, Yogi and Hubu went on a rampage. Remember the bear they mentioned on the boat?
Aha.
Jeez.
Thinks that Rusty here is a bit of a monster. There we go.
There you go. Basically two clips worth.
Thank goodness I got extra ammo.
Right. I don't think you're ever going to have to worry about running out of revolver ammo. Maybe if you... I guess probably only if they throw a segment at you that you're not supposed to fight them all. Like you said last time, I just wish they were more obvious about when you were supposed to run away and when you're supposed to declare them out. Swift congratulates you on the pro dodge.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, the fact that it slows down time for a little bit for you to do something cool like, mug for the camera as it turns toward you.
Oh, so this is... that would be part of it, at least.
Right.
Good to know.
Does it can hold 48, or is that including the 6 you've got?
I don't think that's included.
Okay, so 48.
So whatever that is, it's big.
And wouldn't a mammoth boss fight against a, infested, like darkness-infused mammoth be like the coolest thing ever? Tonally a little off, I think. But
yeah, I'm not sure if that actually would. How good that would be, actually. Let's see, I cannot go over here. That's a shame. So on we go instead.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean...
Well, it tells me a locked door probably is going to stop those things, but...
Well, you can at least make it a little bit more difficult for them.
True. I wonder what their, range is. Because if Barry survives this, it'd be a little... Because he was pretty close to where Rusty was, I thought.
A little bit of a walk, but yeah. I'm imagining he's probably not going to survive this.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens. But she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, Lorax has an idea. Maybe the shadow people are like vampires. If you don't invite them inside, they.
I'm pretty sure we've already established that's not the case. That just loops around. Fair enough. I'm waiting for the traps because I know they're going to be here.
Right. You know what? I think when we replace the batteries in our 360 controller, we need to get some energizers. I don't know why I think that way, but let the wrong one in.
For your safety, stay on the designated trails.
So Swift, has there just not been any yellow paint caches? Or there we are. Okay, I thought we were about due for one. I had a feeling they wouldn't give you a flare gun before the mid-boss fight, too. Nice.
Moonshine Cave. See, guessing this isn't the way we have it. Oh, good. For the fact that it's incredibly dark in here does have me worried. But...
Right. Site of frequent bootlegger activity.
This is to require alcohol smuggled from Canada. Interesting. Here we are.
Let's go ahead and help with the yellow paint. My work here is done.
Yes, shotgun. More batteries. Yeah, it's good to me.
I was actually kind of... It wasn't so early in the stage, and they hadn't already built up the despair angle yet. It would have been pretty funny for the Moonshine Cave to lead to like one bottle of moonshine and a revolver with one bullet in it. So far, they haven't really gone for anything like that in this kind of. It's more like just. I guess it's like the encroaching darkness feel, instead of personal despair.
Do not feed wildlife.
I know we mentioned this after we came back on vacation last year. The $100 fine reminds me that when we were in West Virginia on one of the mountain roads, because they clearly, the city, like the highway patrol or whoever would have been responsible for it, it clearly didn't want to bother with cleaning up, litter on the, in the mountain roads. They put a $25,000 fine for littering.
Oh, it looks like they regenerate. Interesting. Or maybe that was just... Okay, that was just one that had it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's run back up and grab the batteries.
Exactly. Holy cow, 25K, right. I would love to know if they've ever actually issued that amount. Because that's definitely the kind of thing where it's just trying to be sheer intimidation.
Right.
It's kind of like the, speed in the work zone, $10,000 fine. I don't imagine that's issued very often. The idea is to make you not do it.
And also, if necessary, to make an example of somebody so that the others realize that it has some teeth to it.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. It's like, have they actually pulled the trigger on that? I'm sure somebody has.
That's true.
But...
That's the thing. I am sure that if it has ever come up, they probably have. Like, probably not so much in West Virginia, because I don't think I ever saw anybody.
Yeah.
Like, any cops along the line.
Yeah, how would you even get caught? That's the thing. Right.
Okay.
Oh, Ranger hat. Rip Rusty.
So nothing there, nothing there.
Oh, there's Lover's Peak.
Guessing there might be... I'm going to just check over here really quick.
Living prohibited. A violator subject to $2 billion fine and 2 lifetime sentences.
So it looks like there's nothing over here.
Served concurrently or sequentially? These are the questions we have to know.
Well, you can get time off for good behavior. I'm just waiting for a trap to happen.
Right.
So I know it's going to be here somewhere. They wouldn't build it up for nothing.
Has this game actually had traps yet?
Well, not yet.
Okay. They might not.
They wouldn't keep talking about the traps and whatnot without actual traps. Surely.
Maybe the creatures of darkness should trip them all. That's why you're running into so few of them.
Well, let's go the opposite way. That's how I roll.
Yeah, you get your wife to rescue and everything, but hey, there could be a flare gun this way.
Hey, I'm a writer first. See? I wouldn't have gotten that manuscript page if I had gone to save my wife first.